We love it. We hate it. We hate it and love it again. Yes, it's Warcraft, and we're here to talk about it. Welcome to the WoW Reckoning Hour. Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome to episode 10 of the WoW Reckoning Hour. I am Leonard, your host of the show, along with my co-host Sam. We're here today to get into some theory crafting, so get your tinfoil hats, along with some Q&A overview. But before we get into everything and the quick news, we kind of want to see what we've been up to this week. So, what's been going on, Sam?
Well, I got my hunter to 100, so that's pretty exciting. So now I'm with everybody else on the Broken Shore. Yay. Yesterday was super fun because I chose to go to Stormheim to start leveling. So yesterday's PvP fest that was Stormheim. I don't know if you experienced that shenanigans, but it was like instant.
When I was on my hunter, but I mean, I'm 110 geared, so I didn't fall into any issues. I kept killing a bunch of guys. I was like, get out of my way.
Yeah, I think it was more for everyone landing in Vel, whatever the heck, Veljar, Vel, whatever, because they knew that everyone had to land there to turn their quests in. And then I don't know why, but it seemed like everybody was leveling yesterday. And the section where you have like the aspirants or the whatever they are, the challengers, the champions.
Right.
And I was doing the questing there. And it just like every single, like, it was just ridiculous. Like the spawn rate on those things is retarded. And then on top of that, you have like 25 alliance leveling and then, just random Kel'Thuzad people just slamming into you. But other than like, whatever, I was getting so mad. I was like, I'm so mad. Andre's like, you just need to, and I'm like, no. So, he got yelled at again yesterday and that's what our listeners think I do all day with him. But anyway, so other than that, Andre and I have been trying to eat like super clean this week. So we even, I went grocery shopping and got a bunch of like fresh vegetables, some kale, some spinach, and we've been actually doing, I don't want to say juicing because that's not what it is. It's like making smoothies, in the blender. Right. So, because it's not juicing because we don't have a juicer, and it's much better this way. But like, just making those as a snack and trying to just eat really clean, which in America costs $1 million. But but that's pretty much it. Just eating clean, doing some exercise, and leveling the hunter. My life's pretty boring. How about you?
Let's see. HOTS definitely.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I dang it. They have some of these deals that are so good, and then with if I already have a few of the tunes, I get this. It's already at a reduced price, and it gets even more reduced. So I got another pack of heroes that I really I like some of the.
You have them all yet?
No, I'm still missing. Like that's what Death keeps saying. He's like, "Don't you have them all now? You should have them all." I was like, "No, I don't. I'm still missing like 31."
There's so many of them to choose from.
Exactly, and but it without even noticing, it came with a 30-day stim pack as well in that pack. So I have a stim pack for 30 days. So
you need
definitely
to get shit over there and start. Because that's big money. Like when we got that 7-day one, I just like never really played after that except for like once. So I kind of wasted that, which is horrible.
And it's really good because if you you play a character, one of the best ways to do what I've come to learn is play it to at least level 5. You can get a ton of gold, buy some of the more expensive ones that you really want or something like that. And so that's what we do. We'll play a tune, you really start to understand. And getting it to level 5, you're really starting to get the flow of it. Either you get it right off the bat, or by the time it's level 5, you might not be good at it, but you understand what their role is in the game. So
which
it's a lot of fun.
Helps you against other people. Okay.
Exactly. And other than that, let's see. I've been leveling my druid.
Love that. Sniper actually did something on World of Warcraft that didn't involve his hunter.
That's true. So anybody that's been playing with me since vanilla, my druid was day one for me. That was my day one tune, and I played all the way with him, all the way to Burning Crusade, and then I just finally did a hard switch to complete my hunter, and just didn't want to. Basically, I just didn't want to heal anymore. I got tired of healing. It was
boom camp, though. There's like boom camps are so much fun at this point.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going boot camp. I got to 103, so now I'm going to go do the artifact because I picked Feral. I mean, I didn't know. I just picked Feral right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Because I got all my tunes. I level all my tunes every expansion, so same thing will happen here. They'll all be 110 at some point. But I picked Feral right out of the, like I said, Feral right out of the gate. So, but I'm gonna go Boomkin. It's very interesting. I read up some stuff on it. Kind of want to see where it goes. One cool thing that I want to let you know about is we've discovered this. I found it from a video that was on YouTube. It was someone. My phone says, check out this video, and I checked it out. And this, I can't remember, is Bellionar, but he basically did this thing where you can go and you can level 100 to 110 in about 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours. And what he did, and it's a very genius idea. So what you do is you basically just go to the auction house, buy a bunch of 830 gear, eye level gear, because if you buy 830 eye level gear, anything over, I think 835, it goes to 110, where you have to be 110 to wear it. But anything at 830 or 835, you have to be level 101.
Okay.
So you just put all this on, and guess what? You have the item level as if you were 110, but you're fighting everything at 101, and you're just blowing stuff up. Like, completing zones in 35 minutes a pop. I mean, you're burrowing through it. And Drama did it on his hunter, because I was playing on my druid and he was playing on his hunter, and destroying. We went into a dungeon. He was keeping up with, there was 110s in the dungeon. He was beating them or keeping up with them the whole time.
Wow.
Because in a sense he was the same eye level as them, just not the same level.
That's true.
So it's very interesting, and like I said, you're just burning through zones like it's nothing. Nothing.
I'll have to look into it. I'll have to send some money over to my little baby hunter. And
it is.
Was it expensive to get that gear?
For his, it got him to, and they didn't have all the pieces on there, but he spent about I think 150K.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, it's not cheap. No. Don't get me wrong, it's not cheap. But I think that will change in 172 in the Broken Isle. Or Broken Shore, sorry, with those, and then you'll be able to send all those things over to alts, and I think that's going to be the day of the alts, or the patch of the alts, basically, as you're doing everything for your main and all that kind of good stuff, but getting alts leveled through, getting 110, it's going to be a joke.
Honestly, I know I'm crazy, but I really like the whole leveling experience, and I always have a profession, and I always normally have a gathering profession. So for me, I'll just kind of go out. People get annoyed leveling with me. This is why when people ask me, I'm like, you probably don't want to come with me. But I'll just kind of oh, look, a shiny thing. And I'll just be gone for 10 minutes over there, off. So I try not to be annoying to people. But I wanted to tell you too, I don't know if you noticed, but we've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
I saw that. I actually yesterday, I think it was when I first saw that you said that you were playing, you played Overwatch, and you said Mercy, right?
I tried Mercy, and it's not that I don't like her, but I like Sombra better.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, she does this really cool thing where she can hack, and she can hack people. So but granted, this is not an easy thing to do, because you can't be getting taking damage at the time, and you have to get the cast off, right, which takes a little bit of time. Right. But you can hack them, and then they can't use any of their abilities, so they're pretty much defenseless. So if you can get the hack off, you can kill them in 30 seconds. Plus, she can hack the health packs. So the health packs themselves, when you hack them, the enemy can't use them when they're hacked, and the ones that your team, they spawn faster for.
Oh, wow.
So if you can, because Stinkle said at first, she is difficult a little bit to play, because she's a little bit squishy, and she takes some skill. But I was like, you know what, I really like this idea, and I really want to try it. So it's not that I don't like Mercy. I like her healing. I like the fact that you don't really have to know what you're doing, because your thing will just shoot all over. But Lucio,
your thing will just shoot all over.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you just have to target somebody, and it doesn't matter if they are behind you. Your gun is healing them. But
I had a dirty mind on when you said it like that. So.
But Lucio's pretty fun too. Andre was playing him the other day, and he was skating on walls, and it's really fun. And I was getting all kind of mannish yesterday. I was we were killing this guy, and he ran to one of my hacked healing packs, and he tried to get it, but he couldn't because it was hacked. And I was yeah, and we killed him. I was yeah, see what happens? You can't I was getting all mad, but fun mad.
Yeah. Like I said, me and Death, I played that. There was many late nights and
you just
months
lose
of playing.
Track of time
Yeah.
That game.
And we would play it all night, but we are. I believe you said you're playing on the computer, right? On the PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm a when it comes to FPS, I mean, first person shooters, I'm mainly a console. There's very few, very rare I'll play a first person shooter on the computer. Just console gaming into that one, into those
Yeah, it's not.
types.
I mean, it's. I don't know. It's not really hard for me. I feel like I have a lot of range of movement. I feel like I can see everything. But I like that's how I learned to play first person shooter was on like Xbox. So I don't know. But
Right.
I don't know. Somebody was saying that yesterday too. I can't play. I don't know. Was it you? I don't know. I don't think it was you. Somebody said maybe it was drama. Somebody said first person shooter
Yeah.
on console.
Yeah, yeah. I know I can't play on. I mean, I have Overwatch on the PC. I have it for PC and Xbox, so I've played it on both. And man, I don't know.
Do you play like Xbox Live? Is that how that like you go through that with it or?
Yeah, yeah. Just
Okay.
get on Xbox Live and and then we go through. Grab me and Death, jump on there, do that, and we'll play for hours on end.
Yeah, I lost all track of time. It was
Yeah.
like midnight or
Right.
like after because it was Mike Stinkle and I playing and I like really never played before.
Mhm.
And Stinkle's like, okay, I'm gonna pick all your characters. So he's like, okay, so now you're gonna be this person. And I was like, oh man, he like picked the Kenzo guy, the guy with the bow and arrow
Right.
and the dragons.
Mhm.
He's not easy to play even.
I
a little
remember
bit,
I
so.
told you that he is he
Yeah.
is difficult. He's very strong though, but he's just you have to be very precise with his shots and everything like that. So it is but he's fun.
He
They're
kills me
all-
a lot though.
Oh
Like
yeah.
people are pretty good with them, and
Oh, yeah.
he kills. Because dragons are super easy to get out of the way, but like he just comes up all right behind you, and you don't even know he's there.
Mhm.
He's all like ninja-like, and then just like rips your face off.
Yeah. Genji is very strong too, but
So, yeah.
he's very specific on
I like the guy with the
skills.
hook. Like Andre plays him a lot with the hook.
Yeah, Roadhog.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
Roadhog is
But
pretty funny.
I find like Andre was telling me before, he's like, when you start to play this, he's like, you need to play a bunch of different heroes and just try them out so you know what they can do, so you know how to avoid what they can do or like what to
Right.
watch out for. And I do have to say, like, I am pretty impressed with the tip system that Blizzard like put in there. So like when a character kills you, it'll tell you like, hey, next time don't be like, when you're facing off against this person, this is what you should avoid. So
Right.
I did like that. I thought that was pretty cool. But I do
Yeah.
like it. I'm big into it, and I want to play it a lot more.
And then it's really cool because if you play it when you play it a lot, you'll start to you'll know everyone's when they're hitting their ulti. You'll know when like the enemy team is doing. Who they're playing. You already know. Because you're gonna come in to fight each other right at the very beginning at some point before anybody has pretty much an ulti ready. And so you'll start to hear death from above and
Oh, I
things,
know.
all this stuff that like, all right, fuck that, I am moving. I know that shit is gotta let that ring out before I get one shot.
Yeah, I need to like move. I know that's what they're saying. Like, I just the tips are so helpful. But yeah, that was super fun, and I just thought I'd throw that in there. So if
Yeah.
you do play
Congratulations.
Overwatch, come and play with us, guys, because it's super fun. It's fun.
Yeah, well, glad you like it.
Yeah, fun.
Other than that, I guess we can kind of go and get into the quick news.
Why not? Everyone needs a little quick news.
That's right. All right. So first off, it's been a long time since we talked about this, but Diablo 3. Go check out the Necromancer. It's not live yet or anything like that, but they have a lot of the spell effects. They've released those. This is what they're going to look like. This is how they're going to work, so on and so forth. It's really cool. Along with, they also completed the female look. So for the male and female and everything like that. So the female was one they were taking a while on. So maybe we're getting closer to D3 release. I don't know. Nothing is, obviously out there yet. I think it still have some time, but it's moving forward. I love Necromancer. That's what I played in the
Nice.
original Diablo. Then Overwatch, Orisa, the new tank class on the PTR, will be coming to an end because she will be coming live Tuesday, the 21st. Yes, she is ready to go. So she will be here on Tuesday. We have 2 days to wait for her, basically. And then we get to check out Orisa in this new tank class. Heroes of the Storm, the Flame Saber mount. If you haven't gotten that, they have extended that till the 26th. So you have a little bit more time to get that. Just jump in there. If you don't have any, friends, or I mean, obviously if you have friends or anything, but no one's that's playing the game or anything like that, when you just jump in, there's tons of people saying doing, AI zerging it 15 matches, and then you invite them. You invite one of them.
Everyone's looking for friends over there.
You invite them as a friend. You play your 15 matches. They don't get any secret information from you. Maybe your name, depending on how it's listed on your account or whatever. But after you do your 15 matches, then just remove them as a friend. Done and done. It's that simple. So go do that. Go check that out. Also, there was tons of updates and tweaks to heroes, so go check those out for more information. I checked all these out on ICDanes. There was a ton, so I'm not going to list these all out, but go check those out. There's, like I said, lots of tweaks and updates to those. And then there was some March Madness fun, and I hope y'all completed your brackets. That has passed, so if you haven't done that, but it was basically March Madness for for Heroes of the Storm. Basically all the teams that's for the Heroes of the Dorm thing that they've been doing. So hope you filled out your brackets and things like that. And then as well as the new season started. So if you haven't, go get your placement matches done. Not solo play, but actually your placement matches done for like team league. So 2, and then you can go in there with a team of 2, 3, or 5. You get put into a team of 5, but you can go in there with 2, just you and a friend, or you and a couple friends, like I said, 2, 3, or 5. Do your 10 matches. It's a placement match. If you do those, you get a free mount, whereas you had to do through the season and everything like that to be able to earn the mount. This one, you just do your 10 placement matches in team play, and you'll get a free mount in Heroes of the Storm.
Nice.
So Hearthstone, very interesting on this is so we all know the next expansion is coming. The Journey to Un'Goro. Now, they did a live stream with Day 9 and senior designer Peter Whalen that revealed the new cards. And then as well, they have done something. If you haven't gone to the splash page for your Battle.net, click on Hearthstone. You don't have to download anything, but they have a really funny thing on there. And it says Episode 1, Wonders of Un'Goro. They're doing a very weird build-up. Maybe they're coming out with an episode every week. I'm not sure up until the release, but they did this live episode, and this live, it's like there's an actor in there. It got me really nostalgic on it, because the funny thing is I remember going to Un'Goro in vanilla. I was already level 60, so I went there. I was just completing zones, doing all the quests, and so on and so forth. But you start out in this little camp, and there was like, what's going on? Some of the wording that they used was like directly pulled from that original quest line. One of the first quests you do in that video, it's one of the first things he finds. It's pretty funny. Go check it out. You'll have a little laugh. It's like a 3-minute and 30-second video, as well as if you are a Hearthstone player, they're allowing you to pre-purchase Galvadon, which is a 5 mana cost card. So if you really play into that, you can go ahead and get that, have that card and ready to go. As well as in Hearthstone, the HCT Winter Championship is now only about a week away, and Blizzard has repeated a promotion they've done in the past where you can win packs by picking a successful player. So basically on the same splash page, there's a tournament. I think there's episode, and then it says the Hearthstone World Championship. You click on that, it will go to the news section. You're basically just backing one player that you think is going to win it all. It's a really quick thing. Just vote on someone just do a blind vote, or if you play, pick who you really think might win. But for one, you will earn a pack just for progressing, or for just trying and taking part of that. But each time that the person that you pick progresses around, you get a free pack, and you can get a maximum up to 5 packs. So free packs and stuff. I don't really play that much Hearthstone. I check it out every now and then, but I'll take stuff that's free for doing no effort. So,
absolutely.
Right. But make sure you get those voting in, because that voting ends March 21st. So on Tuesday. So just make sure you go in there, you pick one. There's a whole list of them there. You just pick the portrait, submit it, done. And then in Warcraft, small hot fixes that have gone out, such as Titch health reduced, range timer increased on normal, and range timer increased on normal difficulty. A quick thing for anyone that's making gold in World of Warcraft, or going through the auction house and stuff, defiled augment ruins seem like they're going to be becoming a thing to always have in 7.2. So get them sold now, because they're going to be part of if you make your money now, because in 7.2 there will be actually something that you'll be able to get. I think there's a building that you get in on the Broken Shores, which allows
nice.
when you're doing world quest, you might get some defiled augment runes. So two things are going to happen is that you're just going to have so many of them, or they're going to come so cheap on the auction house, it's not going to matter. So but it seems like that's a necessary buff that you need to have at all times, which I failed at, but I'm starting to use more of them now. Now they're pretty cheap on the auction house. They've dropped them down to, I think, 400 gold a pop.
Like 400 gold, yeah.
Last time I was buying them, they were like 1,200 a pop, and I'm like, That's crazy.
Yeah, they haven't been that expensive in a super, super duper long time.
Yeah, you can tell how often I was buying those. But, and then on other things here, BlizzCon. So that's a lot of the stuff that I've also been doing this week, getting things ready. Tickets go on sale April 5th, that you'll be able to get on April 5th and April 8th. So we're not too far away from being able to get our tickets for BlizzCon, but I've been doing so much stuff. I'm getting a hotel, everything that through this process is not a process that I want. I hope that I'm going to have a great time at BlizzCon, but very rare. I'm going to probably do it again. Because how do you, when you plan, like, I think you were telling me before show and stuff like that, you were, how much money it is,
oh, yeah.
And then like you can go to another country on a 10-day all inclusive thing for for cheaper and stuff, and that's cool and all. And I understand this is a one thing I'm gonna do, but one time. But I mean, hell, it's in November. But if you don't do this crap now, you won't be able to go. You can't. It's not like something you can just go and show up, or get everything like a week or two. Like you have to plan. So 9 months out before this, and just to be able to have the hotel right there, and then your tickets and all this
stuff. Hotel isn't even the most expensive part. For us to fly from Chicago, it's the flights that are expensive, and no matter how you slice it, it's because that's a huge thing, right, for Anaheim is BlizzCon. And I worked in the hospitality industry for a long time, and I'm well aware of the price jack up, and they know it's not something that they don't. So hey, but yeah, that's the thing. I would love to go to BlizzCon, but just wave at me. I'll get the home package one. You can just wave at me, unless Blizzard, of course, wants to send you and me there.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm definitely. Well, if they send us there, then we'll already be there. So then you and Andre can come. So he'll take mine spot.
Yeah, see, and then we can podcast right there and tell the world how awesome Blizzard is.
And we're going to everything. Just so y'all know, we are going to, obviously during that time, we're not going to have a show during that time. I know it's 9 months out, yada yada yada. Not going to have a show during that time while we're there. I'm going to be having way too much fun. But we will be I'm going to be doing some live casting, Facebook living, while I'm there, walking around, checking out, just saying hi to everybody. And we are making t-shirts. So
what are these t-shirts gonna say? I'm a little scared.
Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna have. I've thought of throwing around some different ideas. So basically, how I'm right. It's not a full decision. I'm still thinking about it.
Okay. All right.
So the front.
Okay, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
But on the front,
we can do a big reveal.
No, that's okay. Because I want anybody else that has any good ideas, and things like that. So you can send them on, on the Facebook or email them or YouTube. You just put them on comments there for the, in the comments of this show. But my first thought was I'm gonna do on the front, keep calm and fly on, and then just have WoW Reckoning Hour underneath it. On the back, I'm going to have it fly, feel it, love it, improve it. And then on the back, and that's kind of my thoughts right now. I've thrown around, like I said, different ideas with our emblem and things like that on maybe just part of the show and thing of that nature. But I think that's something that hopefully will catch on, be going around everyone when I meet everyone at Blizzard and all that kind of good stuff. So getting more FaceTime and things like that for the show.
Alrighty,
so hopefully gonna push on that. Like I said, we're gonna be doing live Facebook lives, hey, what's up, this is us. Can't promise I might not be intoxicated when I do that. Just kidding. I'm not gonna do anything that would incriminate me.
Is that really a change? I don't know.
That's true. I do like the drinkage.
I thought you were like fueled by it. It's honestly you use
Right.
it like the rest of us use protein shakes.
Not that,
I'm
man.
juicing,
Yeah,
apparently. Maybe you should put that on the back of your t-shirt.
yeah, juicing.
Yeah, juicing.
Never been.
But you are gonna have some good company with you as well. So
Yes.
I really doubt that. You know what? I honestly, okay, this is how I see this BlizzCon thing playing out. So Leonard, Drama, and Death get to Anaheim. Leonard, Drama, and Death overdose on some kind of beverage, and you find them on Monday morning when the hotel comes to like kick them out, all three of them in the bathtub together covered in puke. That's how I see this going. Never having ever set foot in the convention center to actually experience
Hopefully it will not be that. I got lucky enough. We got a suite that's huge and it's really nice. So like I said, very excited. And yeah, definitely. I know the BlizzCon, and then they have like the Hearthstone Tavern or something like that, where I think they sell booze in there. I don't even know if they sell booze inside the convention center.
Oh, I'm sure.
I hope they do.
Booze has been getting nerds laid since like 1925, so I'm sure that there will be booze somewhere.
And there's tons of parties and things like that, after parties after the show, day 1 and day 2, and then go ahead into Disneyland on Sunday. Never been to California, so
yeah, I've been to California once. I went to San Francisco, and it was a really cool place to be.
Cool. So that's but that's what I've been doing, like fitting in time to get some Hearthstone in, and I mean, Heroes of the Storm, and then with that, but I wanted to save that for that time. But yeah, lots of BlizzCon stuff.
Go BlizzCon!
Yeah, right.
I mean, I might win the lottery and go, but right now.
Right. Well, you have to predict that you'll win it now. So you have to go do everything now.
I mean, when you like run your own, when you have like your own business, you have to remember that like tax season is killer.
Right.
So, it's not that I don't want to go. And like I said, Blizzard, if you really want me and Leonard to like promote you, we would be happy to get a free ride.
Exactly.
Free get an even better suite.
Yeah. All right. So going into main topics of the show. So first off, we're going to kind of do some quick points and overview of what the Q&A was about. Some of the things that I pulled off of that. So we'll start off with one of the things to talk about was secondary stat improvements. They feel that they've improved it, but they have gaps there. I agree in a sense. How do you feel like there's still a gap, or do you feel pretty good where the secondary stats are fitting?
Did they say that they fixed them? Is that
they've improved them?
Yeah, I heard that.
But yeah.
Okay, listen, from that first Q&A that they were talking about this back in November, when they were saying, what we want to do is when you get a new piece of gear and the item level is bigger and higher than the item level you have, we want you to be able to equip it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I don't really feel like that's been changed at all. I still feel like there are secondary stats, i.e. haste for a paladin, and we have to have it, and if we don't have it, then it's detrimental to us.
Right.
So our gear is our choice of gear is secondary stat based.
Right.
That has not been changed for us.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely said. I mean, also, into that point as well, as they were talking about some of the food buffs and things like that. No one uses for your main stat or anything like that. Your primary stat, everyone goes for your secondary stat. That's where you have more action. And they brought things. Like I said, they improved it. They brought them down, just not enough still. Like I said, they still feel like there's gaps in there. I know it's mentioned through that process that they feel, some people are still wanting to have reforging.
Yes.
You think that would fix it? You would want it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I personally think that reforging was one of the coolest things that they ever brought into the game. And
Right.
Andre actually had like this killer idea that because Blizzard's whole point of view is, well, we don't want you to have to leave the raid and go and reforge in the middle of it. But how many times do people leave our raid? Gems, enchants, I forgot my tokens, I forgot this, people leave raid all the time. That's why they invented warlocks. But what they could do is put this reforging on a mount, just like they did the transmog.
Right.
And then people could, because Blizzard seems to go with this mounting up inside our
Or get
raids
a
now.
guild perk.
Yeah, like there's so many different ways that they could adjust or change, and they already have all the code and everything in place
I
to
think
like.
I think engineers should do it. Like they can throw down this
I
portal
actually
and
said
this
that you
emblem.
could throw down a bot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So I think yes, that would be very helpful because you would be able to reforge the way that you would like.
Right.
And Blizzard said like they want to give it back to the player to be able to make these decisions, but I don't know if they truly want to.
Right. Yeah, I and honestly, for me, I'm gonna have to agree with Matt, the lead game designer. I don't think I think it just takes too long. I don't think it would fix it. I agree with him totally. It shows that Blizzard has just failed on this, and they just need to fix it, and it's going to be worked on to fix. But I agree because it goes into a very like reforging gets pretty crazy. Like you can't just reforge one piece. You reforge that piece, then it sets off other pieces. You end up like one piece of gear ends up reforging like 4 or 5 pieces because that set that off because this has this and this has that, and then you have to reset all your stuff. And honestly,
but we're doing that now. Like I'm constantly having to change my gems, change my enchants based on the gear that I'm picking up or my best in slot gear. So I would prefer to just be able to go reforge it rather than spending 6,000 gold in the auction house every time I have to readjust my talent or my secondary stats because that's where it's really like right now. It costs a lot to get those gems to get those enchants.
Yeah. But I see where you're going with that. So I don't know. I'm gonna hold to. I loved reforging. Don't get me wrong. I think reforging is great, but I actually have to, like I said, agree because I think it's just something that they feel that they have missed the mark on. So they're trying to. Their whole idea now, like you just put on a piece of gear and stuff like that. Now it has a slot with it, and if it's and remember that the things that we have to enchant are few. It's not like before you would have all these enchants on all these different pieces of gear. It's on a few pieces. It's your rings and was it rings, neck, and cloak.
Yeah. But it still costs money. Yeah. Like it does still cost money, and if you're constantly having to change them out,
right.
I just think it's a better option, and I can understand why there are certain individuals who don't really like it. Right. I get that because it does. It takes some play time, and there used to be add-ons to help you, and all.
That's Mr. Robot.
Yeah, but that was his actual purpose. I'm a big fan of it. I thought it was really good. But I guess in Blizzard's defense, if they broke the system, then maybe they just want to fix it.
Right. And that's all I mean by that. Like I said, I do like reforging, but where they're going and how they're readjusting, like I said, they've already improved secondary stats, and I think they can push to go more. I'm okay with either way that they do it. Not that I disagree with reforging or anything like that. Like I said, I'm okay with either way they do it. Just fix it so we can move on to the next. So we can just move and go where we need to go.
Fix it so item level actually means something again.
Exactly. And then they talked about some other things. Legendaries. They feel that they had this question on there that said, in hindsight, how do you feel like you've done? They feel like they're in a really good spot now and drop rate. About the only thing they said they can go change, if they could change from the beginning, is just have higher drop rate. But I agree with how they say, you start low and you can always push up, but you can't once you set the drop rate too high, you can't pull it back down.
Well, then the snowflakes are gonna cry.
Yeah. And they seem like they're really...
the legendary drop rate is based upon how much work you do, and I mean, it's no secret. You and I both feel that the people who put the work in should be getting the rewards from their work.
Definitely. And there's luck into it too. So I mean, we've all...
Yeah, of course, it's luck and everything, but. I mean, you and I both have said that we wish that we could trade the ones we don't want in for the one that we do, or a better chance at it. And now we've seen, like last week, you talked about those little tokens that you can buy. And that's I think, like, again, that's good enough for me. Like, I feel like I have a little bit of control. And ultimately, that's all I want is the chance.
Yeah.
I think...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say, like, you and I. Okay, I'll just say. So I know that they were talking about those new legendaries. Remember, we said like with the buffs on them that do different things, like the more utility kind of legendaries. Yes. I again think that those are really good for PvP, and I like the fact that they're kind of. I feel like they're maybe branching out into a different area,
Right.
and I like that.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't be happy if I got one.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
You read my mind. That's exactly.
Yeah, like I'm happy, but I don't want them.
Right.
Thank you.
Exactly. And it's kind of funny. And what I'm bringing up, I agree with you 100%. But it was funny listening to Matt talk about that because I mean, he's lead game designer, obviously the main, a lot of thought and behind everything that happens with Blizzard and going through this process. But he was definitely advocating for Blizzard. It seems like they really like the utility legendaries. It seems like they don't. And I think when we had ideas like, hey, Eternity, I don't want those, it brought up a good point where someone says, oh my God, I don't want this. And then a week later, like, oh man, this is really good. Well, that person didn't do their research. How often is that? Which is very often with Blizzard or with Blizzard players. But there's people that go into getting these utilities. They are awesome. They are good as you're leveling, as you're moving up. But once you've gone into where we are now we're not like greatest guild in the world or anything like that, but where we are now, those utility legendaries are useless for us. They sit in our bank. We don't want those. We want things that are going to help push us even further into raids and things of that nature. So,
we need the damaging ability legendaries.
Just give us that option. Give us an option to do something, which is fine. They're coming out with something, like I said, what they're coming with 7.2 with the shoulders and stuff like that. That's gonna be fine. I know it's gonna be probably low. It's gonna be low drop percentage or chance percentage. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's a 0.0001% chance. Now I know I can choose it. And I'm happy with that. Thank you, Blizzard. Like I said, thank you. I know a lot of people are like, that's not going to fix anything. No, because you're expecting it to be freaking all the time. It's going to be the same time now.
It gives you a choice.
Right. So I'm going to be buying those as much as possible.
Right. Okay. Let's just look at this from this perspective. And I know this isn't legendary, but like, okay, I'm going to say like Hook, who, if anyone who doesn't know Hook, he's a demon hunter in our guild. He has I would say that besides Mike, and I think Hook even does it more, he's probably the person that does the most work on his main tune over anybody else in the whole guild.
Definitely.
And this man literally gets his 6 tokens or 3 or however many, like I think he saves them up, but 6 tokens, and he takes all those tokens and he runs Titch as many times as possible so that he can bonus roll, because remember, he's already loot locked, bonus roll for his spell relics that we have never seen drop. However, Alex just got it, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Literally just got it like 10 minutes ago off Titch. But like he takes all of this just for the chance, the tiny little chance that he might get that fell relic to drop. Yeah. So, I guess it's all about how hard you want to work for it, right?
Exactly. And that, that's a good point, because they also talked about some really cool things with loot trading. And so they brought up some interesting points into that, because the personal loot, they had to, the reason, the whole idea behind personal loot was to protect you as a player, to protect you. So if you go into a raid or anything like that, you're getting something. You're not going to these pre-made groups and how they used to have, and it's like the guild, the raid master would steal everything basically, or something like that. When it comes into stuff, but it was there to protect you, which I liked that. I liked that aspect of it. That was definitely fine. But as we grow, we evolve. We can't hold to something for how it was before. But they have also talked about that in they're looking to loosen the reins. So that's going to be good, that they're going to kind of give a little bit more time to like if you get stuff that with tier pieces, an item level, maybe it's a piece that's higher item level, but you don't use that piece. It's not it's not replacing a best in slot. It's kind of a crap piece for you, but somebody else might be their best in slot. So even though it looks like he didn't come out the numbers and say exactly why this cannot be. But it seems like maybe they're going to allow you to be able to trade those if you would like to. Looks like they're going to keep to personal loot or bonus roll. I'm sorry, to bonus roll is not going to be tradable. It's only going to be for you. As your chance to keep into that. And I think they even said that
that makes sense too, why they said that, because they don't want everyone being forced to use their bonus roll for one piece of gear.
Right. And that's what I was when we talked about this subject, I don't know, quite a few episodes back.
Forever.
But we talked about these bonus rolls. That it's my bonus roll. I worked for it, and we are one type of player. But obviously, Blizzard has to look at it as all the players in a whole. And I guess there's a lot of players out there that feel. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a lot of people that I guess they would feel pressured, and since everyone else is doing it, I have to do it. And if I get this our tank needs this trinket, so we all got to roll. And if I get it, I have to hand it off to him, and I had to waste a coin. You know what? I
guess you have to be in that situation. Like I
guild like that,
would
get
never
out.
see that.
Yeah, like that, get out. I mean, come on, guys.
I would never, ever, ever like want to pressure someone, or like I've never been in that situation because I've always been very blessed to hang out with people.
Because if we were doing that, if we all said, "Hey, so and so Hook has Hook has
a guild."
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like the only time that like say we would do it, but when I say is that if you're forced to do it, you shouldn't be in a guild like that. Our guild, I would definitely go to Titch and bonus roll if I could have a chance. I can't get a fell relic, but if I had a chance to get one and I can give it to Hook, I would. And if everybody wanted to do that for Hook because he's been doing it for so long, great. Like that's just how we are. Like we would do that. Just no pressure. I don't give a shit.
Each other out.
I don't give a shit. You can have it. I don't care. I don't bring it. Want it.
How many times do we get stuff and I'm like, I'm never going to use this, even if it's like a 40 level item upgrade. Hey, does anybody want this? Like, is it your best in slot? We do that all the time, but we do that to help. Like, and that's the type of guild people should be in.
Yeah, and I understand if you're a new recruit into a guild or something like that. I'm not talking to you because that's something they already do. But also as a new guild member, if they didn't tell you that was part of what they do, that's fine. But they probably shouldn't ask you to do it unless you'd wanted to, and you shouldn't have anything against that. But like I said, it seems like they're going to keep to the bonus roll, and I understand on that. But I'm glad to hear that they're definitely said, hey, yeah, we're gonna loosen the reins. One of the good questions that I asked was, they asked, do you think that they are overprotecting us?
This is a tough one because I mean, I think whatever I say might come off wrong, but like I think that a lot of times people choose to be in these weird places that they get themselves into. Like I personally, if I ever joined a guild and they were like, hey, you know, all your bonus rolls and all this and all that, or like, you know, maybe if you didn't even know at first and then you like went for a raid with them and then they told you this, I would just be like, fuck you and I'm leaving. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And personally, like you know what I'm like. I don't like when people are treated badly, and I don't put up with it in our guild, and nobody does. So I would never allow that to happen. But I would never put myself in that position. So I don't think it's Blizzard's job, and they never used to protect us. I don't remember this happening before. So what is going on?
Well,
how many special snowflekes are there for real?
Well, let's say this, and I'll defend Blizzard on this one, is that they evolved too. You know, there's so many times that they have to hear people bitch and complain about these things. And in WoW, how many special snowflakes are there? About 90% of the player base. About 90% of the player base. But, you know, everyone feels entitled to something. I do feel like they're overprotecting. I think they take away too much of your and you have to figure out how. And one of the biggest things that I did like is that Blizzard's when they were asked that question, Matt said, I don't think that they're overprotecting us or we're overprotecting the player base. I think we failed on getting information out to them or having on a piece of gear. You can't trade this because this is your bonus roll.
Why can't you just say no?
Because this is this. I think they just didn't have the information out there. Hey, more information is not bad information. So
no, more information is not bad information.
But remember at the very beginning when we were doing it, we were like, why can't I trade this? Like you hadn't had any problems trading on one piece, but I couldn't trade on a piece, and they didn't have any information because I never had the shoulders before. So I have to keep these pieces in my bank so it shows that I have it, and that way I can trade it.
I agree. More information about why you can't trade it is good, but I don't necessarily know if I think that there should be stipulations on this. I can understand why they did it.
Well, it seems like they're going to be removing these things and moving forward. They're just kind of loosening the reins on it a little bit, though. Okay. You know, we'll see.
And
all the thing was we'll see, right? Which is another
Yeah.
thing they were talking about there is the Warforge and Titanforge.
Oh.
They were talking about that, and I think it was very interesting. On and keep in mind these Q&As are like questions from the player base, and they are answered. But you have to really like they pick these questions. They can you believe like they talk for an hour, and they pick these questions. They probably had like 10,000 questions. They specifically pick questions just so when you watch these Q&As, they specifically pick questions to get the information they want to get to the player base that they know is more important. So keep that in mind, guys. So, or things they want to release to you or tell you about. So with the Warforged and Titanforge, which has been a hot topic in the community, is saying it's all about luck and not effort done. I 100% agree with that. But what they're saying is Warforged and Titanforge and all this stuff was just something bonus for you. And it took me a second to I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? They're right. That way, if I have a friend that says, hey, well, we ran normal last night. Normally, I wouldn't go to that. And I always like to, but I'd like, if something comes up, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go do that. It's not one of our main raid nights or anything like that. But I was, I was available. And so I wanted to run it. And I was like, when I run it, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time though. I feel like, hey, I might get one of these relics that gets Titanforged and it's going to be useful for me. So I agree with the way that is, but everyone who looks at Warforged and Titanforge
As an entitlement.
as a necessity. And one of the things that scared me when he said that maybe we just have the percentage on you getting that too high. I'm like, oh, good God, don't you reduce that.
No, you know what? That would be perfect. You know why? Because they're right. And now that they've said that, I actually like their perspective on this. It was kind of like, when you find an extra cherry on the top of your sundae, or you get like, it's like an, oops, look it, but you got something cool. Like
Right.
It should be a very small percentage.
But
that way people aren't going into raid and being like, oh, I'm going to roll on this because it might Titanforge, it might do this, it might do that. It would make our lives so much easier. Right. And that's honestly, true. We've never had any of this crap before. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
When you're leveling, it's great.
Yeah.
But like when you're in a raid situation, it's not great.
Yeah. And remember that the Titanforge and Warforge, all that's doing is getting you basically gear for the next level difficulty. Like not that they give you the gear that you need. Like they have said you don't need Titanforge and Warforge to do well. Like all you have to do is be basically with heroic. Starting level, eye level is 875. Be 875, you'll do fine in heroics. Mm-hmm. You just have to pay attention more, make sure mechanics, you're not going to burn through stuff. And I think they're right. I mean, 100%. Like all we're getting is mythic level stuff that hasn't been Titanforge and Warforged. That's what we're getting when we have a heroics that are getting Warforged and Titanforged. So when I look at it, like I said, it took me a minute, and I was thinking, I was like, well, okay, I get you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I like what they're.
I will agree that I don't want them to reduce that chance though.
It would just help us all out, honestly, because it's way too confusing.
Right.
Okay, so this is exactly what you're saying. We're saying about those tokens on the Broken Shore, right? Is because we all saw this. Now we're expecting it. Well, it'll Titanforge, so I better roll on it. But the truth is it's not. It's an extra added hey, you did a good job. Here's an extra little bonus. Mm-hmm. You get an extra cookie in your lunch kind of a thing. This isn't you should expect this. Right. We should all just go back to thinking there's one item level per level of raid. And, if it Titanforges or if it Warforges, great.
Right. Okay.
Because we're never going to know, especially in a loot master or master looter situation, loot council situation, you're never going to know what that's going to be.
Right.
Until it's already gone.
Until
right.
It's done. Yeah.
Right. So there's no, if everybody has it, great. And you're all oh, I'm just going to see if I can get it to do this for me. Well,
Correct.
That's fantastic. And I think that's where we're kind of getting into now. Mm-hmm. We're getting into that situation but it's not helpful. It's really not the whole drama that is created by it in a raid situation. Okay. Yeah. Is what my point is.
Yeah,
so yeah,
no, I agree.
I say just drop it. Drop the rate, tank it down to almost a fell relic percentage. That'll probably work.
Keep in mind right, but keep in mind that they can't. It's really hard for them to decrease it. What they can do is when they say decrease it, they can decrease the new gear, say Tomb of Sargeras, the new raid that's going to be coming at some point. They can reduce that chance. They they can't reduce. It ends up breaking things when you start to. So we're fine now, but what I'm saying is I hope they don't. What I was just like looking at Tomb and stuff like that. Because to me, I get excited every time I see it. It might happen too often or anything like that. And honestly, until I've gotten all my pieces and everyone has their 4-piece that would potentially be rolling against me on things, then at that point, then when everyone's at the same level but playing field, then I'll try to get that 4-piece. I mean, I definitely did raid. I asked for it because I don't know who has it, who doesn't. I don't check everyone's gear, but I like to say, hey, yeah, this is a little upgrade for me. If no one else needs it, or if everyone's at the same point where I am now, then I want a chance to see if I can get it, type kind of thing, and we'll get there.
Yes, and that's what I really would like.
Right.
Like I like it for the point of now we're kind of walking into there where we might have a situation where and obviously I can see more than you can see because I can see the whole loot council window.
Right. Yeah.
But like a lot of people are just like, especially the tier pieces are either just kind of finishing upgrading from like a normal version, which I still have a couple pieces too, which I'm waiting to go from like normal to heroic. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people now are kind of like, well, just an upgrade or whatever, item upgrade. Because I don't want to take it away from somebody who needs it for their 4-piece. But I think pretty much everyone has it now and is up to like maybe like a normal standard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Another thing that they were going into, it was also talking about some of the relics, that second addition to it. Now, I know we talked about this last week, I believe, and how the changes to that and why or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. But anyways, so some of the changes they made to that, but it was very interesting on when he was saying this because how they talked about some of the different ideas, what they kind of like, and it's perfect kind of talking about when we were talking about Warforged and Titanforge stuff, is that the relics, that's this second addition to another trait or something like that, they seem like they really want this, but they feel like there's this piece that's missing. And one of the things that they were saying, mentioning through that is saying like an added RNG, kind of like what I was talking about with you. I'm like, now we're gonna like doing the casino connection to that, but they're getting ideas that they really liked some of the things that says, hey, you now have this relic that, or first, before I say that, is that relic, they were saying that if they made it available now, like they were going with their direction on that, they feel like they were making a leap too much forward, and then they can't go back once they make, and they're missing out. They also obviously have a bunch of ideas that they're very interested in, but if they made that choice, it would take that everything off the table. So they're still looking at it. It looks like they're still going to be doing something with relics, something better than the AP. I think they just threw AP in there just because it's like, this is okay, and it's just giving a little bonus to people. But one of the cool things they were talking about was saying, hey, instead of saying you got this Titanforge relic or whatever type kind of thing, and you're set to this little addition that's not a good addition for me, is that one of the suggestions was now you can pick something that you want to fill in there, and here's 3 different choices for you. Which one would you like?
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. And then they also were saying that people want to, someone's like, why can't we swap these? Why can't we swap these into that? And kind of gone a little bit, kind of going into like how
that was Andre felt like too. He's like, why can't we swap them out? Why do they have to be destroyed?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with, I'm too far. I guess I feel like I'm just talking for Blizzard here, but I'm definitely not. But I agree. Like at these things, I agree with that. Like when. And I really like how Matt didn't just say, yeah, we just don't want that. Like, he breaks it down. And then how he breaks it down, and when I think of vanilla days and things where we had to do all this kind of crap all the time. And I think how much it was just irritating. It's like, okay, we're going to AoE, boss, so I have all this pieces, and then I'm going to switch around these relics, and then I'm going to go this to maximize here, and then or now it's pure DPS boss, and then I'm going to go switch around these relics and stuff. When the whole idea of relics, and I like their idea of it, is I found this thing in this world, this hidden piece in a sense, and a lore wise, if you think about it, like this hidden piece, and I'm going to infuse it into my artifact, I'm going to power it this way, and so it's gone. Like, I get it, but I mean.
Yeah.
I agree. I would hate having to have a bag full of relics that I'm switching in and out all the time, depending on the boss. Oh my god.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
never gets to that point because now everything is kind of more like you have an AoE spec and you have a single target spec. So you might have to switch out like max of 4 because normally one of your relics will empower
You have a good
either
class that does
way.
that. Marksman.
I do.
Marksman is a very good class that does that. They have still need to do
Yeah.
some improvements to BM. They just buffed one thing, and our AOE spec is to get Stampede instead of the other. And Stampede is like a once every 5 minutes. It does nothing for me, or 3 minutes or something. Like I can do it once, and then like some other time, and then I have like when AOE fights are happening as often as they are like in a boss fight, I can't have a cooldown like that. Like I'm not gonna spec to that AOE just to have Stampede for what? Like that doesn't. They failed on that where I can't just switch one thing and I'm like, all right, this is AoE fight, this is not AoE fight, this is pure DPS, this is 1 to 3 targets or plus 3 targets, type kind of thing.
I think it's all in your playstyle though.
Right.
Like it's some fights and this only comes with like the experience of actually doing the fight, right? And I find that it really helps me. Like I might not need anything out of normal and usually I just go to kind of help whoever else get the gear. But what I find with normal is that it really does help me to see fights in a different light because A, it's easier. B, you can kind of like stop. No, I don't want to say stop doing mechanics because that's not the truth, but like maybe not be as like on point so that you can test out different things. And it's helped me learn which spec to use in fights.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, I mean, that's all I have to like. As far as I'm concerned, relics are relics and they are what they are. Some people are the bane of their existence. And for me, it's just like, oh, cool. There's one. Like, throw it in my weapon,
Yeah. No, yeah. And like I said, it is a bane of a lot of people's existence. And that's why I like that you infuse it. It's destroyed after you use it. It's done. I would
you never have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You should again.
Yeah,
See
it's
you
like
later.
you know which ones you're going for, and I mean, it's like another piece of gear. You know which ones you're going for. I don't want to be like, I need that because in case on this boss I might need this. Like it just added more gear I need to go get. Whereas we already have enough gear. I don't want to have to go get more. Type kind of thing. And they also mention in here, kind of a quick thing, it's not going to be ready in... Well, actually, there's something really cool. The transmog UI in 7.2. So I'm really interested to see what that is going to look at like, because I already have sets and stuff into the transmog availability now. And so I'm really going to be interested in what's this whole UI thing and transmog thing that they're going to be coming with. So I'll be excited to see that in 7.2, as well as something that won't be available in 7.2, but it's going to be coming soon after. And sometime soon after, and we all know the Blizzard soon, but is heirlooms can be able to go to 110. So you can get some, cool. If you already have heirloom gear and so on and so forth, you can be able to.
I'm slightly distracted right now because my husband is standing in front of me licking his nipple and like rubbing it. It's really strange. Like it's so strange. Yeah. Like this is what happens in my life. Like this is Anyway, yeah, sorry. He's just standing there and he's like, like when you do that, who used to do that? It was somebody that was it Mike Myers in like Austin Powers or whatever, and you know what I mean? Like that's what he was doing. And he's like, look, he's like miming, he's like they can cut glass or I don't know. Anyway. I love that transmog thing because it's really gonna help with people with their sets. I love it. I think it's great because I always like have to sit there before raid for like 45 minutes trying to see what looks pretty. Mm-hmm. But
well, I make the sets and I save them and then I just move from there.
So. Yeah, but I'm a girl and I have sets too, but I don't really like some things that I change them out. But I do like the idea of the whatchamacallits. What am I trying to say here? Why do I always do this? Yes, the heirlooms. I do like them scaling to 110. I think that's helpful.
I don't know how long it's going to take. I think, like I said, it's going to be coming 7.2. I think it's going to be worthless at 7.2 because of everything that, like I was telling you about, the 830 gear and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 830 pieces. It's going to give you bonuses, but when you can just walk through everything, and the thing is, lore-wise, you're able to still understand like everything that's going on. Like you're going to be able, if you want to read the text, you can. You're going to still be part of the story. You're just going over there, and if you're leveling professions and stuff, I mean, you just walk up there and you're just like, get out of my way. There's a mine over there, or there's a node over there, or I need to skin this stuff. I need to do this. I need to, like, in Stormheim specifically, when you first get over those alpha wolves, those freaking things suck if you grab too many of those. Those things do some serious deeps on you.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I had to pull out my bear.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
I mean, like I had my little tiger thing, and it was like getting destroyed. I'm like, bear
send
time.
your tiger
bro.
to tank spec.
I didn't know you could. I'm just rolling with my polar bear. It was a
Gotcha.
while since I'd seen him. And then also, like, I didn't really realize that the mend pet thing needed to be done all the time until Andre was like, you need to start mending your pet. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
An exhilaration heals it to full.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but Hades cool. But anyway, next.
And then one final thing before we get into our getting our tinfoil hats on is that solo challenge. This scared me that a lead game designer, Matt, said this is going to be difficult, and this is going to give you to unlock your relic and to that look. When a lead game designer says this is going to be difficult, you better bet your ass it's going to be difficult. He says it seems like it's an eye level requirement or like a gear requirement, so we're not going to actually probably this solo challenge that we're going to be able to unlock this new look for our weapon and stuff like that. So anybody that probably has this look that will be coming, it's a very specific new look for your legendary or your artifact weapon, and it's definitely a solo thing. It's kind of like how they did with the legendary back in Mist of Pandaria, where you had to go through this thing to finish off to get your, I think, the cloak or ring. I don't remember. I think it was cloak to get this the legendary, the final thing you had to do through this that was very hard. I think we've talked about this before, many episodes ago before, but it's nice to see it's going to be difficult. But it seems like as you get more gear, you go in there. I mean, he specifically said as you get more gear, you go back and try it again and see if you can do it, type kind of thing. So it seems like it's going to be eye level and it's going to be scaled. If anybody has it out of day one, or when we're able to do this solo challenge, they're a boss. So it'd be very interesting to see on how that's going to go. Then what do you think that you were going to have any issues with that on the solo challenge there, Brookie Brooke?
I won't.
Oh, you won't.
Might.
Oh, she left. She left.
She had to have emergency bathroom break.
Okay. Well, hey everyone, this is Andre.
Hello.
Andre's in here now. But yeah, so the did you how much did you hear? Because I know you had to put a headset on and stuff. So
For like 10 seconds, but she is back right now.
oh, okay.
So,
Totally missed
Bye-bye.
everything.
I thought maybe you could do like a guest star appearance.
Yeah.
I literally could not hold it anymore. I'm
Terrified.
sorry.
He was terrified right
He
there.
was terrified. What did you ask him?
I was talking
He's
about
like,
the
"Oh."
solo challenge. The solo challenge.
Oh yeah, I am so down for the solo challenge.
Right.
I am like all about gonna do this, even if I have to fail 500 times. I'm still gonna
Right.
do it.
But when he was talking about it, but like I was telling, it's scary that the lead game designer says this is going to be difficult. Like when
Well, it's
when
about
someone
time.
says that, it's going to be hard. But I didn't like that he said, I guess he was giving a little reassurance. It's going to be something we can all unlock at some point and things of that nature, but it will be but he said you get more gear and you go back and try it. So definitely the more gear you get, the easier it's going to get. So right out of the gate,
This is gonna be like a nerfing thing. They're gonna get to the point where there's gonna be a small fraction of people who are gonna take
Well,
the time to grind it out, and then they're gonna.
Well, I think that this solo challenge to earn this, I think what's going to happen is that, and here's just a weird thought. I have no idea how this is. I don't go to PTRs when WoW is out. I check out PTRs on a lot of things. I don't play any PTRs about WoW. I like to be like all the information. I like to know about information. I like to see about information, but I don't like to play the information because I'm going to have to do that plenty on my own.
Yeah.
So I don't like, definitely WoW, don't mess with that. So I haven't really looked into, they've been very quiet about the solo challenge information. So I think that, to me, it would be very interesting to see it. It might be a time-based event that you do solely, so you have to do it in a certain time base. Because I'm also thinking that once we unlock it, it's going to have all these other locks behind it, right? Of different colors and variations. And so I think it might be something like, hey, if you can beat this in X amount of time, I think the first one is just you do it, you complete it, and you unlock it. And then you go into an aspect of, if you can beat it in X amount of time, obviously you get a different look on the quicker you do it type kind of thing. I'm not sure, but which I guess I was just now thinking that's going to be dumb, because if you do it, you just wait till you're fully geared and then you go do it once in like 2 minutes and then you unlock them all at one point. I don't know. So I'm trying to think about how they're going to do different color looks on how that's going to work once you've unlocked it. So,
well, I think that it's a much needed challenge, and I'm excited to go with it.
All right, guys.
So,
I know that we're going over.
do I need to get my tinfoil hat?
Yeah, get your tinfoil hat on. I got mine already on.
All right, cool.
So I understand that we're going to be going over it today, but which is a normal thing for us. So we've had a couple episodes that are right at an hour, so live with it. So one thing is, here is, everyone knows that on Tuesday we got a new quest that appeared in our order hall, which tells us you had somebody that was hurt or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. You go to, it was very uneventful, obviously. We had to, you got a quest, you go to your mission, you send someone and says, hey, and then they even said, if you read the quest name, it says, after you've completed that 4 hour, it was a quick mission, it says, we need to keep sending these guys out there. With nothing like, hey, you need to send like 50 missions to Broken Isles or anything like that, which is scary. So when you see it as a quest text that tells you, you're going to need to be sending a lot more guys out there. So either they're going to be doing two things on this, and obviously we're going to know this on Tuesday. So they're going to be doing two things on this. They're not sure when they're going to really be releasing 7.2, or it's going to be gated. And then next week we're going to get, like, you're going to have to do 50 missions, or whatever type missions, your champion missions to go out to Broken Isle. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I think that is going to be happening, I think we're going to be getting 7.2. I think it's going to be coming in April. I think we're going to get a lot sooner than we expected, though. I think it's going to be coming, I was thinking end of April, new raid. Obviously, the new raid's going to be coming
later, for sure.
Usually about a month. It's usually about a month. So I was thinking like end of April, around the third to fourth week of April, we're going to be getting 7.2, and then this, a month later, we're going to be getting the Tomb of Silver Gears, as we already know. And Matt was definitely very clear about that. And if you don't already know this, a patch does not mean raid. It's especially, but I think,
well, you basically alluded to the fact that you're gonna kind of have to like work your way up to it.
Yeah, this is definitely, we're gonna have to build. And I think how they're seeing it is, it's gonna, they like where it's sitting, but it's gonna take people longer to build, and they want it to be a ramp up better to go into the raid. They definitely have mentioned that you don't just walk up right into the raid, and they're alluding to the fact that yes, there's time that you need to spend in there. I think they were wanting, with as big as this patch, 7.2 is huge, people. Like, it is huge. Yeah. There's tons of things. We've had multiple episodes talking about the changes and things that are coming in 7.2, because there's so much to talk about that is going to be happening in 7.2. So it's going to be huge. So I think what's going to be happening, in my opinion, is that we're going to be getting 7.2 probably, I would say, by second week of April. And then we're going to be getting the Tomb of Silver Gears mid-June.
Okay, that sounds about good.
Because I think we're getting the patch sooner, the raid a little bit later. Because they mentioned, and I didn't like how they said this, but they did mention, and Matt was very clear, it says, after 7.2, there's going to be another patch to release the Tomb, which 7.2 is already going to have, it already has Tomb in the package. It's already in there. They just need another, we're turning it on type kind of thing. You're now able to access it. But
Right.
he mentioned, if y'all didn't hear it, listen to the Q&A, and specifically when he talks about this, is that he specifically says it's going to be related to like 7.15. Do you remember how big 7.15 and all the changes that happened in 7.15? So we're coming out with a big patch of 7.2, and then there's going to be like a 7.15 that's going to open the tomb. That's scary. That means that it's rare. That's where key to me is we're getting 7.2 sooner, raid later, because there's so much stuff in this 7.2 patch. They're going to have to, they haven't even previewed all the bosses in 7.2 yet, or in Tomb of Sargeras on PTO.
Right.
So they still have a lot of work to do in there, but we're still getting, like, I think we're going to have a few weeks of this missions and sending things. You're only going to keep people's entertainment into this for a very short amount of time, into this sending mission out. So it was very interesting they didn't even mention anything on anywhere when we got this random one quest on Tuesday in our order hall. But
yeah, because I went to look too, and I'm like, I mean, okay, I can tell you, I like a longer rollout, and the reason I like that is because I like to be ready. Because again, for me, I'm a completist. Right. I need to do everything. I want everything, and I know that that's, not necessarily the best thing, but I like that fact, because then I feel like I am prepared.
Right.
When I walk into the tomb. I understand. I have the gear. And plus they're bringing out new dungeons, new mythics, new everything. How are you supposed to experience all that? And then take alts through that too? Like, you need time. Yeah. And I like this.
Yeah. And if you also hear him talk into that, they also said, we got to see how 7.2 works with Nighthold.
Yeah.
So they feel like, and when they're looking at releasing a raid, they, like I said, they don't look at it releasing with a patch. They look at when it's viable, when it works. For whatever they're seeing, either they made it easier for people to get to mythic level in Nighthold, and they want X amount of bosses dead by X amount of guilds out there.
Yeah.
They're looking, whatever numbers they're looking at is that we're going to have 7.2 with all the changes and all the fun. And then they're going to go when it seems like Nighthold. And what I think here's my long-term prediction is when they're looking at this is supposed to get us to BlizzCon. BlizzCon is going to be awesome because they're going to release Argus, and I think they're going to they need to finish this raid out, and they need to do everything else to get Argus ready, and then that's going to be a big announcement because Warcraft hasn't had like a really big announcement. They've had big good talks at BlizzCon, but not like here's Warcraft. If you think about all the different games that they have, there's really nothing really big to talk about that they can have right now, just with everything they're doing, its updates and so on and so forth. But Warcraft has been needing a big push, because they have, what is Warcraft seeing? More subscriptions than they have pretty much since Vanilla Day from release. They've seen so many more stuff that they want to have something big for Warcraft fans on BlizzCon. So I think they're going to have Argus ready. It's going to be about Argus at BlizzCon. And then on Argus on BlizzCon is, one of those crazy announcements that says that here at BlizzCon, here's Argus, here's where you're going to go. And they're going to get us all excited about it. And we're not going to have to wait like 2 months. They're going to be saying, and you'd be ready to hit that on Tuesday. Like, what? Everyone's going to go crazy. It's going to be great. And be ready to hit into Argus and be able to push into that. Because if you look at how they're doing these patches is either they're going to have a filler, but they can't release us going to Argus a month before freaking BlizzCon. That's just not how you do things. So if it releases in June, the new raid, we obviously need to have usually about 4 months is how they're currently doing this whole thing. About 4 months into a raid, that's 8 times you get to clear it. 12 times you get to clear it, sorry. So the around 12 times, but as you're moving into there, well, I mean, just depending, I'm not thinking that like there's some 3.5 weeks and then there's 4.5 weeks and then there's 4 weeks. So it's just but moving forward through that process is you think about how, and then I say full clear, obviously, when I say clear it, you have to have already gone through everything, and then moving forward from that. So I think that with how Tomb is going to be in the raid, that it's going to have, it's going to spend a lot more time in there. They're giving us a longer amount of time to do into that. But they can't be coming out with something, big. In my opinion, they can't be coming out with something big with WoW unless they have another like Trial of Valor that's going to be available or something like that.
Well, they normally have like a filler raid.
I just don't think this one. I think they don't have a filler raid. They don't plan on having a filler raid. I think things are going a little bit too quick.
They're gonna jump just into the next expansion.
No. I think this. I think there's a lot more that's going to be happening in this expansion before you even talk about this next expansion. We're at 7.5. It goes to 8. We don't usually jump up to 8. And how they're doing here is like 7.1, 7.1.5, 7.2, 7.2.5, 7.3. 7.3 is going to be Argus. In my opinion, I don't know, but 7.3 is going to be, I assume it's going to be Argus. And I think,
don't they normally throw out a new expansion though, like once every like 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
Because we're coming on like the first year here, right? We've already been out for 6 months or longer.
Yeah, so we have to get to September. September is when it released, I believe, or August, end of August.
August. I knew the last week of August.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are coming up to the 1 year mark. And I think
that's a lot of stuff to jam into 1 year, though.
Right.
If you don't think they're going to do 7.3 until November.
Well, if you look at, they have to give us time to do Tomb, and it's not going to come out till May, so they're going to go 9 months. So, all right, so we're in September, and then they're going to have something. We're going to be going to Argus. That's a whole new world.
What do you mean we're going to Argus? How do you know we're going to Argus?
I mean, Jesus, like we can't. That's a whole.
But how do you know that we're going there?
What?
Is this like am I missing something? Like,
this time last year, Ian said, how's the hostess? At the end of it, it says, and then maybe we'll go to Argus. And then they've only talked about Argus a ton of time on Q&As and everything like that on every like developers. And we are definitely going to Argus. That's where we're killing.
Well,
that's where we're killing all these mofos.
How many more Guldans do you think?
Well, this is where the Legion is from.
Okay, and this is where we're going to find the very last dimensional Gul'dan.
Okay. No. We're done with Gul'dan.
We've killed him in all dimensions now.
He's
Are
not
we
a
good?
Oh. He's not a fill. So we don't have to worry about, he's not a demon. He took on demon. He took the essence, but like, that's why we see Titch. How many times have we killed Titch throughout from vanilla up till now? We've killed Titch multiple times, but we haven't killed him on the Twisted Plane. So, or Twisted Nether. Okay. So reason why we have,
so we have to go there and kill them.
To it to say, stop coming at us. Now we're coming. Now we thought we could just close this and that, and you're done. But you keep finding ways. You keep finding ways into my house. Now we're going to go to you. We're going to shut you down. Boom.
Okay, good.
So it's a huge thing for us to be going there. And it's a huge story piece for Blizzard to miss out on, obviously. Like, it could be a whole expansion. And I mean, they could do something like we get our foothold in and then we're back to vanilla days and we got our foothold in and then moving through that process. I mean, there's so many different lore ideas that they can do. So it's very exciting through this process of how we're going to go through this. And like I said, all this is tinfoil hat on and just deciding on how this is going to roll and how we're going to move forward through this process. Very excited to see how it turns out and how right, hopefully, I will be. But
I'm also excited to see how right Sniper is going to be.
Likely I'll be wrong because I called end of April, May. End of May is when we're going to see Tomb. We obviously know it's going to be at least a month for the raid to come out. For as big as 7.2 is, I just don't see that they have time and how they're stalling. They're coming out with it quicker and how things are happening. Or maybe they're running out of time. Maybe everything is still set. We're coming out with quicker. We're going to have Tomb quicker. But when you hear him talk in the thing he says, we got to see it's going to be like 7.15 to release the Tomb. And we got to see how the new stuff is going to handle, 7.2 stuff is going to handle in Nighthold. So he's very specifically said these things. So when he says those things, they want to come out with it quicker because they want to get out the raid. I assume they're coming out with it quicker and they want to get the raid out at the same time, but they need the data. And you don't get data without people doing it. And PTR, honestly, most people don't do PTR. There's millions of people that play this game. There's probably 10,000 people that play PTR. It's not that many when you're looking at millions. The numbers from millions to 10,000 totally changes spreadsheets and numbers and stuff like that. And that's why they have to do hot fixes. If everyone that played WoW now jumped into PTR, they would have every release of patches would be perfect with no hot fixes.
Well, exactly. So, there'd be more people testing, so there'd be more bugs and problems found. Well, I mean, I hope that you're right. Again, I'm very much looking forward to anything they're going to come at us with, and I will be happy to talk about it.
Most definitely. All right, so that is our show. Next week we're going to be talking about, very excited that Ryan, the content leader for 7.2, will be coming up this week. Not on our show, but they're doing another Q&A, and that's another thing, is they're doing these Q&As week to week to week. They're firing all this information out now because it's going to be coming soon. In my opinion, that's what they're trying to do, is trying to get this 7.2 out, trying to get the information to you as they're doing the closing times onto that. But this Q&A, we're going to kind of talk about what's going to happen in Q&A. I don't know what's going to happen on this Q&A, but I'm going to be stay tuned. Make sure that get the information for us. So we'll have it in our show next week to keep you up to date in case you miss it. If you have missed this last Q&A, we talked about some main points, give our opinions. Go check it out. Give your own opinions. Think about those things, as well as comment on the YouTube or Facebook or anything. T-shirt ideas, how you would like to see the T-shirts, and then
do you want just Brooks's face, or
so give us ideas,
or maybe the chinchillas?
Please, I'm not wearing chinchilla balls on a shirt.
Come on, that'd be wicked. Everybody would know who you were.
Right? But yeah, give ideas, go into that, and then we'll move. And like I said, we have 9 months to decide. Well, not 9 months, but for BlizzCon.
It sounds like you're gonna have a baby.
Yeah, right?
That's what Snipe's doing. He's going to give birth to BlizzCon.
Exactly. But you can always email us at WoWReckoningHour@gmail.com, or you can comment under the YouTube comments or anything like that to have any questions or anything like that. We will present them up or answer you right then and there, or we'll bring them up to the next show if it's a really good topic. But outside of that, that's where you can contact us. And if anybody wants to contact you, Brooks, where do we find you at?
You can contact me. Just join me on my Twitter at Brooks First. And also, just shout out quick to Alex, our good buddy, who keeps telling us what a great job we're doing, and he's using the comment section on YouTube. So way to be the example.
Thank you, brother.
But yeah, please comment. I like talking to you.
Exactly. So as usual, guys, thank you so much for listening to this show, and we're excited. We'll be talking to you next week. But until then, keep calm and fly on.